This is going to be a bit of a rant, but I have to talk about it. Are these compact cameras, point and shoot cameras, are these obsolete now? Because I don't see many brands making them anymore, or at least develop them. And I think it's sad, and I will tell you why. Hi, my name is Roger, and may I ask two things of you. First, please subscribe. My channel is so tiny that it helps me a lot. And it's free. Thank you. And the second and more important thing is, what do you think about point-and-shoot cameras? Do you like them? And how do you use them? Please leave a comment. This camera I love. This is the Sony RX100 Mark II, and I bought it 10 years ago. And the reason I bought it was because I wanted a camera for taking pictures underwater when I was scuba diving. Well, this isn't waterproof, so I bought an underwater housing like this. I put my camera inside of here. I have two strobes and a focus light and all other things like this. This setup cost about $1,500 or euros, so it's pretty expensive. But at the time, 10 years ago, I was into the Canon system. I had a Canon 5D Mark II, a 6D Mark II, a bunch of good lenses, most of them L lenses. And if I would have bought an underwater setup for that full frame system, it would cost 3 times as much. So that's why I bought this camera. So I've taken pictures underwater with this, for example, of turtles, sharks, lionfish, and just taking pictures of colors. I actually took more pictures with this than I did with my full-frame Canon system. Why? Because, first of all, I could bring this everywhere. I work as a musician, which means I travel a lot. For example, I went to the west coast of Sweden where I took these pictures with the RX100. I also used it for travels, like in Istanbul. Or Doha, because I could put this camera in my pocket. And the picture quality was as good, or at least nearly as good, as with my Canon full-frame system. So why not use the phone, you might say? The phone is a great camera, and probably that's why the brands don't make the point-and-shoot cameras anymore. Well, yeah, the phone is a great camera. This is an iPhone 11, so it's not the greatest of the greatest, but it's still a good camera. But it's a difference. It's a difference between a real camera and a phone. First of all, this doesn't have a 1-inch sensor. This have. Secondly, I can control things more easily on this. I have my aperture on the ring here. I have the shutter speed on the ring here. And if I press the right side of that circle, I can change my ISO. This is more bulky. And this I have to use another app to take RAW. I know in newer iPhones you can take RAW from the camera app, but I use the Lightroom app to take pictures in RAW. And also it takes up a lot of memory in the phone. This, I have an SD card. I take the SD card out and I put it into my computer, and it's so much easier to catalog your images with this than with the phone. But the most important thing, the most important difference, for me at least, is that I have trouble treating this as a camera. This is a phone. This I can surf on internet, I can look at maps, I can play games, and I can take photos. But it's first a phone, an internet device. This is a camera. So when I walk with only my phone, of course I take pictures sometimes with my phone, but I don't look for pictures when I have my phone with me. When I have a camera with me, my eyes are looking for pictures all the time. Even if this is inside of a pocket, I look for pictures. I don't do that when I'm carrying the phone. And I don't like the terminology point and shoot, because this is so much more advanced than just point and shoot. This can do nearly as much as my Sony A7 IV. Of course, things takes more time. You have to go into menus more often and so on. But it's an advanced camera nonetheless. I know that brands like Leica and Ricoh are developing compact cameras. Leica is so ridiculously expensive that it's out of the question. But where are Canon, Panasonic, and Sony? Sony's latest professional compact camera came 2019, the RX100 Mark VII, which seems to be a really good camera, and I've been thinking about buying it, but I think it's too expensive. At least it was too expensive. Now it's about $1,200, $1,300 euros, and it was even more expensive just a year ago. I would like to see brands like Sony, Canon, Panasonic develop point and shoot cameras, compact cameras, to make a professional pocket size camera. What do you think? Thanks for watching.